Hello, you're watching Hornbill TV. Many aspirants in Nagaland are asking for a relaxation in the age limit for entry into government jobs. This demand comes in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, which disrupted recruitment exams, resulting in lost opportunities for those who were nearing the age limit. The current rule allows candidates to take these exams until they are 35 years old, but the concerned aspirants group and many students associations like Central Nagaland Students Association, Combined Technical Association of Nagaland, the Dimapur Naga Students Union and the Lota Students Unions, etc. are advocating for the age limit to be extended to 37 years. They are calling on the government to implement a fair age relaxation policy that benefits all aspirants equally. They believe this would give them a fair chance considering their exams were not held for 2 years due to the pandemic. Now, to shed more light on this, we have a representative from the concerned aspirants group with us over the phone to discuss their demands and what they hope to achieve. So, hi, thank you. Good morning and thank you for joining Hornbill TV.
Yes, good morning. First of all, thank you, Hornbill TV,
Yes.
for allowing your channel as a platform to disseminate the pertaining issue to the public domain.
Yes, yes. Now, firstly, to start with our conversation here, can you tell us why the aspirants are, asking for age relaxation, or how did the 2-year gap during the COVID-19 pandemic, affected your chances, and why the current age relaxation policy feels inadequate for the aspirants?
Okay, so first of all, the sole motive of the concerned aspirants group for age relaxation is to persuade the government to extend age relaxation up to 37 years for all those aspirants who have been appearing the state competitive examination prior to COVID-19. So the government in this case granted one-time relaxation for 2 years. That was with effect from 28 February 2022, and it ceased in 2023. However, the one-time relaxation, it benefited only certain age group who at that point of time were overaged, and it failed to benefit those who were on the verge of being overaged or who were over 35 years after 2023. Yes, we all know that COVID-19 affected every aspirant equally, so the concerned aspirants group are therefore appealing to the government that relaxation should be met all indiscriminately. So that is the sole objective behind this concerned aspirant group.
Right. So, in one of the representations submitted to the CM this year from the concerned aspirant group, it is mentioned that other states like Maharashtra, Assam and Manipur, Sikkim, etc. have, extended their age relaxation limits as high as 40, some 37 years. So, why do you think or believe that Nagaland should, align with these states? And how would such changes help in addressing, the growing unemployment problem here?
Okay. So we sent our representation to the Honorable Chief Minister on the 22nd of July 2024 for the same reason. So as you have mentioned, that the states like Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, and even Maharashtra, they've enhanced the service age entry into 40 years for scheduled tribe. And taking into consideration the growing unemployment rate in Nagaland. So according to the statistics that was revealed recently, nearly 1/3 of the educated person is unemployed in Nagaland. And secondly, according to the Nagaland Chief Information Commissioner report, Nagaland government sector offers only about 600 to 700 job openings annually for over 71,000 job seekers, so which in itself speaks about the rising problems of unemployment in the state. So considering the increasing rate of unemployment and also the age of service entry enhanced to 40 years for some states, and even the, for instance, the UPSC. The UPSC, they have service entry up to 37 years for scheduled tribe. As you have mentioned, Maharashtra 40, Sikkim 40 years, and recently even the Railway Recruitment Board have enhanced the service entry from 35 years to 41 years for the ST. So we are anticipating that the government would fulfill the demands of the aspirants and bring the certain reforms accordingly, taking into account the rising problem of unemployment in the state.
Mm-hmm. Right. So now with the NPSC and NSSB exams approaching, what is your message to the government in terms of urgency and fairness, or what are your other steps to reach the government in addressing your issues?
Okay. So regarding that, soon the NPSC, I think most probably, according to the calendar that they followed, most probably in the month of September last, they will be providing for the notification. And yes, like I've mentioned, the relaxation, one-time relaxation, it ceased in the year 2023. And we are demanding the very same course for the government to enhance the service in 3. And most of the aspirants, those who are overaged, we are in dilemma whether to continue our preparation or not, because there is no such as response from the government. So as you have mentioned, we have written to the Honorable Chief Minister representation. Still now there is no response, and we have made several press releases in response to that, and various organizations and student bodies have supported our demand. So what we're doing right now is that we're conducting a signature campaign that probably will be completed within a day or two. So the same will be again submitted to the government, and we will again wait for the response of the government. That is what we have decided for the future course of action as of now.
Okay, thank you so much for joining Hornbill TV. So that was one of the aspirant representative from the concerned aspirant group for sharing their thoughts and shedding light on this issue. Now, as the exam deadlines approaches, it is now in the hands of the government to respond with a fair and equitable solution. Now, I'll now be joined by our associate editor, Anguli, to discuss the broader implications of the demand and the Students' Association's support for the age relaxation. Now, the question here is, what does this mean for both the government and the aspirants? Hi, Sir L. Good morning, and thank you for joining me. Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, I think I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. So to start off, so how do you view the growing pressure from the Students' Association on the government regarding this age relaxation demand? Do you think it is a valid demand that needs to be addressed?
Yeah, I am yet to acquaint myself with the aspirants and from which category of civil services they are aspiring for. Any idea which group are they? Are they talking about the NPSC? Are they talking about the NSSP or?
Yes, both, sir.
Both?
Yeah.
So it is only the state services, right?
Yes.
I was not able to hear the conversation that you had with him. So I'm not sure which category of services that he represents. But I think definitely their demands are valid, because here we are not talking about an exclusive change to age relaxation that is exclusive to a singular category of services here, only for Nagaland, NAMI. Other states have done it before, and this is not the first time that we are talking about age relaxation. And Nagaland definitely should not be an exception in this regard, because the demands that the students have been making, the potential candidates have been making in regard to relaxing the age category, it's pretty valid. Way back, I think it was 2022 or 23, I think it was Sikkim, and even in UP also.
Yes.
This is a very valid demand, and that is within the scope of the Nagaland government. This is something you do not have to really go to the center in this regard, and that is the reason why many states in India have been the state authorities have been making changes to accommodate people who have been affected by the limitations in age, especially since the pandemic way back 2020. So I think it's a very valid demand in this regard, Nami.
Right, sir. So, the other states have implemented more relaxed age limits for aspirants, like you've just mentioned. So why do you think Nagaland has been slower in adopting similar policies, or what impact could the delay in addressing these demands have on the overall morale of the youth in Nagaland?
This is not the first time that our students and our potential candidates have raised the idea of relaxing age limits in all the civil services in the states, NAMI, way back 2008, 2007, I think the NSF had also raised the same demand. And I think during the intervening decade of 2011 to 2015, somewhere in that area, I think there was a group of potential candidates who called themselves Civil Services Aspirants of Nagaland, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the reason that we continue to call upon the government of Nagaland to relax the age limit in the civil services for Nagaland is that, unfortunately, the number of vacancies in the government of Nagaland that have decreased over the years, and the government itself has been telling us for all these years that there are no more jobs in the government sector. So there is no opening for the government to be able to comfortably take in candidates that will fill its vacancies. So unfortunately, but in a very convenient way for the government, somehow the limitation that has been set on candidates who are past 32 somehow offers the government a level of protection from taking in more candidates, more people into the government service. So somehow that will offset any kind of excess employees. And of course, the government, I think right now there are more than 1,45,50, somewhere in the region, 1,45,50 government employees, or is it government teachers? So the state is already it has already reached a saturation point. So that is the reason why the government has not been able to progressively take in new candidates over the past 10 years, and it has not able to make changes to the age limitation, because if you do, you are going to have to take more than just 30 or 40 people in. You are going to have to take thousands of candidates into the state job sector, NAMI. So that is why I said it is convenient for the government to not make any changes to the current rules, and so it is easier for them to just not take in excess candidates into the job sector, and that is why they have been deferring making any changes to the age relaxation policy.
All right. Then, sir, in a state with high unemployment rate, how crucial do you think this age relaxation policy is for, helping the aspirants who lost their opportunities during the pandemic?
Yeah, like I pointed out earlier, we are not talking about 20 or 30 people finding jobs in the government. Yes. We're talking about thousands. So I think it is impossible for the government of Nagaland to courageously take the step of relaxing the age limits for people who have been unemployed for the past 30 years. That is impossible, but at least to a certain level of acceptability, at least we can look back to 3 years prior, all the way to 2020. I think it was in 2020 that the pandemic started, right?
Yes.
March 2020, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So at least we can look back to the past 3 years and we can consider their demands in this regard. I think this is a very valid demand that the aspirants are making, because I think they are a very small category of groups and they have been affected by an exclusive set of circumstances, and that has been defined by the pandemic. So I think for this group, why not go ahead? I think I would support them.
Now, considering the upcoming exams, NSSB and NBSC, do you think the government will prioritize this issue, or could it be delayed due to other pressing concerns?
That is something out of our opinion here, Naomi. We don't know whether the government would, but like I said, we have this exclusive group of aspirants that were affected by a unique and exclusive set of circumstances, namely the pandemic. So this group are small, and I think the government most probably they might, I'm just thinking they might, because like I said, it is not a group that includes a whole lot of people from various interests and from different age groups. So I think I'm just speculating, maybe the government most probably they might go in and help the aspirants by just deciding to concede to their demands in this regard. But the government will have to take very careful steps, because today they might concede, saying, oh, it's only a few of them who are affected by the pandemic. But if another group that comes up and says, hey, we've been working for 10 years in the government services on ad hoc basis, why don't you regularize us now, because we are more eligible, or we are over age now, working in contract positions. Now we need the jobs, we need our jobs regularized. So if they come up with different kind of demands from other sections of the young professional community, then there will be trouble, Naomi.
Right, sir. Now, sir, we've seen that other northeastern states and also the mainland states have, relaxed the age to 37 and some till 40 for the SC and ST students. So, from a policy perspective, what should be the government's next step to ensure that no group is left out in the future due to unforeseen circumstances like the pandemic?
Yeah, I think it's not only for the current group of potential candidates who are demanding age relaxation in this regard, but in the future, I think it behoves on the state government of Nagaland to make changes, because as we have pointed out earlier, many other states, I think, if I'm not mistaken, even Kerala, Sikkim, UP, they have been making changes to their age policy for all potential candidates. And Nagaland seems to be the only one where everything seems to be stringent when it comes to age relaxation. If I'm not mistaken, I looked at some of the 2022 data, and I think more and more people, especially in those states, Haryana for instance, who have reached the threshold of finding jobs, they seem to be leaning more towards central services such as the Union Public Service Commission examinations. The reason is because now the state cannot, for example Haryana, the state cannot accommodate them. The people who have reached the age of 30 and 35, now there is no opportunity for them, they have to go to the center. I think right now the age categories for those in the UPSC, I think it's 21 till 32 years of age for general category in the UPSC, and 21 to 35 for other backward tribes. Yes, till 35. And for ST and ST, that is us, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe categories, I think it's 21, and the maximum is 37. Yes, 37 years. And for other backward, for people with disabilities, the age limit is still 42, if I'm not mistaken. That's the highest. But still, then, if the current set of aspirants in Nagaland they have gone beyond 40, I think that the case will be even more severe. So hopefully, if they're still in the age group of 36 or 37, somewhere in that area, they can also go for central services opportunities also. But that aside, not all of them will be going to the center. So assuming that they want to stick with Nagaland services, then I think it is time for the Nagaland government to start thinking about a clear-cut policy, whether to take in and consider people who have reached the threshold age in regard to civil services.
All right, thank you, Sir Al, for joining me and sharing us your insights.
Thank you, Naomi, for having me.
Now that brings us to the end of today's discussion. Well, the demand for age relaxation is critical for many aspirants in Nagaland, especially those affected by the pandemic. Now, with the growing support from students' associations and the concerned aspirants group, The call to extend the age limit to 37 years is gaining momentum. Now, as we await the government's decision, the question remains, will these aspirants get a fair chance in the upcoming exams? Thank you for joining us on Hornbill TV. Stay tuned for more updates.
युवाओं को रोजगार देने में मुख्यमंत्री पुष्कर सिंह धामी